welcome to the session in our video series entitled Address Your Feelings. Well, everyone who has a child with special needs will experience a myriad of new and different feelings and emotions. The intensity of those feelings can vary depending on the severity of the problems and the implication for your child's future or yours. We all have dreams for our children, picturing them to be healthy, happy, successful, and someday growing into loving, caring, capable adults that are happily married with a family of their own and grandchildren for us to spoil. If your child has a condition that could or will have lifelong implications, you may be mourning the loss of your hopes and dreams for this child. You may be even mourning the loss of your own hopes and dreams for your own life, because life as you know it may be forever changed. If some of these dreams are threatened, you may go through the 7 stages of grief, mourning your loss: shock and disbelief, denial, bargaining, guilt, anger, sorrow and depression, and then finally comes acceptance with the hope for the future. I could definitely relate to these emotions, and I experienced all of them. Denying or suppressing these negative emotions is never healthy. They fester underneath the surface, nagging at you, eating at you away at your health and well-being. It takes time and patience to process your emotions, but it's important to deal with them in a healthy way. If we don't, we can be really hard to live with, becoming irritable, short-tempered, angry, bitter, resentful, depressed. Remember, you're in this together, and you're both likely to share some of the same difficult emotions and feelings. Talk to each other and share your feelings, share your fears and frustrations. Support each other. Work through the process together. Don't make the same mistake I did. Instead of processing my emotions and talking it out, I suppressed everything and ended up dealing with depression. If you have difficulty with the process, I strongly urge you to talk with a professional counselor. There's no shame in needing a little bit of help, and it can save you a lot of pain and grief. The first step in addressing your feelings is to identify what you're feeling. Acknowledge the feeling so that you can begin to process the emotion. The second step is to figure out why you're feeling this way. Where is the feeling coming from? And is it possible that there is some faulty thinking or distortion of reality going on? Are you letting the what ifs take over and scare the wits out of you? The third step is to accept the feeling and try to look at it objectively. Talk about it with your spouse, a trusted friend, or a counselor to get his or her perspective. Try journaling. It helps to vent, even if it's just on paper. And sometimes writing it down makes it easier to identify faulty thinking or distortions. When my daughter was diagnosed with learning disabilities at an early age, I feared that she would never do well in school, may never graduate or get a decent job, that she may be dependent on us for the rest of her life. My imagination was working overtime, and I got on that what-if train. Big mistake. I eventually learned to take each day as it comes and do the best you can do, and it will work out. Maybe not the way you envisioned it working, but it will work out. Trust God to have your back. Ask Him for clarity, for wisdom, for comfort, for peace, and He will provide it. Well, thank you, and visit us next week online for our next video entitled Renew and Refresh. My hope is that you and your mate develop healthy habits that can not only protect your marriage, but draw you closer together. Thank you for watching, and have a very blessed day.